Story 1. United States, 2019. Death in the acid tank. October 2019. Buffalo, New York. At the Buffalo Polishing and Plating Factory, 57-year-old Daniel Harnden was working near a tank filled with sulfuric acid. These vats are designed to strip metal, but on that day, while listening to some ditty music, Daniel slipped and fell in. The acid didn't just burn, it dissolved. By the time emergency crews arrived, his body was submerged, the liquid boiling his skin away. Co-workers tried to pull him out, but the acid was so corrosive they couldn't touch him without risking their own lives. When firefighters finally recovered what was left of him, the coroner reported there was almost nothing intact. A man reduced to fragments in minutes. If only he wasn't playing one of Diddy's songs, then he'd probably still be alive. Story 2. United States, 2009. The tuna oven incident. October 2009, Santa Fe Springs, California. At the Bumblebee Foods plant, 62-year-old Jose Molina arrived for his shift. His job was routine, loading tuna into massive industrial ovens for sterilization. But that morning, his co-workers didn't notice he was still inside one of the ovens when the heavy doors were sealed shut. Then the cycle began. Steam, heat, and pressure rising steadily. For 2 hours, the oven baked at 270 degrees Fahrenheit. When the door finally opened, Jose's body was discovered among the scorched racks of tuna. Investigators later said the scene was beyond anything they had ever seen. His death was so horrific that the company was fined $6 million, the largest workplace safety penalty in California history. Story 3. United States, 2019. Death in the meat grinder. April 2019, Pennsylvania, U.S. At a meat processing plant, 35-year-old Jill Greninger was working near an industrial grinder the size of a small car. She climbed a ladder above it to check something, when suddenly she slipped. But how do you even slip on a ladder and fall in head first? Why didn't she just fall backwards? Anyways, co-workers heard nothing unusual at first. The machine always roared and groaned. But when they couldn't find Jill, panic spread. They shut off the grinder and looked inside. What they found was beyond words. Her entire body had been pulled in and shredded in seconds. Investigators said there wasn't enough left of her to recover for a proper burial. One misstep, and a machine built to crush through bone and muscle treated a human body no differently than raw meat. Story 4. United States, 2018. Buried alive by glass. March 2018, Moraine, Ohio. A worker at the Fuyao glass plant was unloading massive sheets of automotive glass, each one taller than a man, stacked together in bundles weighing thousands of pounds. He cut a strap, thinking it was a routine release. But the moment the tension snapped, the entire stack shifted. In a horrifying chain reaction, the glass toppled like a wall of transparent bricks. It collapsed over him before he could even step back. Survival instincts of a plant, by the way. The sound was deafening. Glass cracking, metal pallets collapsing, screams of co-workers. When emergency crews arrived, they faced a mountain of glass. They tried to pull it apart, but the man beneath had already been crushed flat, his body pinned under tons of sharp, heavy sheets. Some described it like a human being turned into part of the debris. The factory kept running after the cleanup, but for the people who watched it happen, the sound of shattering glass would never be the same. Well, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this and want more of it, subscribe and comment what you want me to cover on the next video. Catch you guys later.